Good morning, first grade. So this is our video for Thursday. And if you remember, our comprehension focus this week is thinking about the sequencing, right? The order that events happen. So we're using words like first, next, then, last. And we have heard some nonfiction text this week. So I thought it would be fun to hear a fictional text as well. And this is actually, more specifically, it's a fantasy text, meaning it could not happen. Our text today is Roosters Off to See the World. And this is by Eric Carle. Eric Carle is one of my favorite authors and illustrators. I love his artwork that is inside the book. And today we're going to hear about a rooster who decides he wants to travel. I thought this would be a good book right now because we're all stuck at home, right? We can't even think about traveling. Mrs. Little gets excited if I get to travel to the grocery store to pick up my groceries because I feel like I'm stuck at home right now, and we kind of are. So we're going to hear Roosters Off to See the World. And while I'm reading, I'm going to pause and I'm going to have you summarize. And remember, keep it short, sweeties. Summarize what happens first in the story, next in the story, after that, and last. So summarize those events. All right, here we are. Eric Carle's Roosters Off to See the World. One fine morning, a rooster decided that he wanted to travel. So right then and there, he set out to see the world. He hadn't walked very far when he began to feel lonely. And something else I want you to pay attention to, I'm going to move my finger. At the top corner, we're going to see graphing, picture graphs, and that's also our math skill this week. So that's kind of cool. It's going to graph the animals that Rooster meets along the way. Just then, he met two cats. The rooster said to them, "Come along with me to see the world." The cats liked the idea of a trip very much. "We would love to," they purred, and set off down the road with Rooster. Okay, and do you see in our picture graph, there's one rooster and now two cats traveling. As they wandered on, the rooster and the cat met three frogs. "How would you like to come with us to see the world?" asked the rooster, eager for more company. "Why not?" answered the frogs. "We are not busy right now." So the frogs jumped along behind the rooster and the cats. And you see that our picture graph now has one more element, right? It shows us our three frogs. All right, pause for a minute. What happened first in the story? Think about Rooster all by himself. What happened first? Okay, great. Next, what happened? Yeah, did you say first Rooster decided he wanted to take a trip? And next, he met two cats and three frogs, and they decided to go on the trip with him. Let's see what happens after that. As the rooster, the cats, the frogs, and the turtles. After a while, the rooster, the cats, and the frogs saw four turtles crawling slowly down the road. "Hey," said the rooster, "how would you like to see the world?" "It might be fun," snapped one of the turtles, and they joined the others. All right, what happened to our picture graph? As the rooster, the cats, the frogs, and the turtles walked along, they came to 5 fish swimming in the brook. "Where are you going?" asked the fish. "We're off to see the world," answered the rooster. "May we come along?" pleaded the fish. "Delighted to have you," the rooster replied. And so the fish came along to see the world. All right. Which animal do we see that there is the most of? Right, fish. Which animal is there the least of? Yeah, the rooster. There's only one rooster. All right. So what happened after the rooster met the cat and frogs? What happened after that? Right. Did you say that turtles and fish also joined? Yeah, now we're in the middle of the story. The sun went down. It began to get dark. The moon came up over the horizon. "Where's our dinner?" asked the cats. "Where are we supposed to sleep?" asked the frogs. "We're cold," complained the turtles. Just then some fireflies flew overhead. "We're afraid," cried the fish. Now the rooster really had not made any plans for a trip around the world. He had not remembered to think about food and shelter, so he didn't know how to answer his friends. Uh-oh. The animals now have a problem, right? So in the middle of their story, they've encountered a problem. They kind of jumped at this chance to go traveling, but they didn't think about food and where to sleep. So now they're not sure what to do. After a few minutes of silence, the fish suddenly decided that it might be best if they headed for home. They wished the others a happy trip and swam away. Then the turtles began to think about their warm house. They turned and crawled back down the road without so much as a goodbye. All right, now look at our picture graph. What's happening? Yeah, some of the animals are leaving. So after all these animals set out on their trip, they then ran into that problem of not having a place to be, not having food. And so the next part is that the animals start to leave. All right, make a prediction. What's going to happen next? The frogs weren't too happy with the trip anymore. First one and then the other, and finally the last one jumped away. They were polite enough, though, to wish the rooster a good evening as they disappeared into the night. The cats then remembered an unfinished meal they had left behind. They kindly wished the rooster a happy journey, and they too headed for home. Now the rooster was all alone, and he hadn't seen anything of the world. He thought for a minute and then said to the moon, "To tell you the truth, I am not only hungry and cold, but I'm homesick as well." The moon did not answer. It too disappeared. The rooster knew what he had to do. He turned around and went back home again. He enjoyed a good meal of grain and then sat on his very own perch. After a while, he went to sleep and had a wonderful, happy dream, all about a trip around the world. All right, so what happened at the end of our story? Right, Rooster ended up right back where he started. He wanted this trip around the world, but at the end he decided no, he just wanted to be home. So I hope that you are all staying safe at home, getting your work done, and maybe just being cozy with your families. We miss you, first grade. Goodbye.